Hello, welcome back to Ricky's Rant, Rave, and Review. I don't have a witty opener for this one because I couldn't come up with anything. But anyway, today we're reviewing the movie Annihilation, which came out about 2 weeks ago now. I'm a little late to this one. I saw it on Saturday. Didn't feel like recording on my day off this week, and now I'm just trying to rush and get this done before I have to go run some errands and go to work. So anyway, let's jump right on into this review. I'm going to try to keep it short because I got shit to do today. So let's get this show on the road. So the rank for this one, you've probably heard this going around already, but Natalie Portman and Jennifer Jason Leigh's characters were women of color in the book. Natalie Portman's character was half Asian, and Jennifer Jason Leigh's character was half Native American, and they're white in this movie. That was a complaint. I just felt like I should address it because, you know, as someone who's black, I don't want to say obligated. It is important for, like, people of color to address this sort of thing, and I just wanted to address it. It made it kind of weird to watch this because the whole time I was like, wow, this would have been so much cooler if they had been cast as the races that they are in the books, especially considering that you've got Gina Rodriguez and Tessa Thompson's characters in this, and they have very good roles. I'll talk about them more later, but like if you know sci-fi horror, it's two women of color, everyone else in this is white, you can see where it's going, and it is a little uncomfortable to watch them, you know, go through the motions of a sci-fi horror movie with only a handful of black people, or black and brown people, and everyone else is white. And I was just like, it just would have been a lot less uncomfortable had Natalie Portman and Jennifer Jason Leigh characters been, you know, their actual races from the book. Another thing I didn't particularly like was that it takes a bit of effort to kind of get what's going on. Not like in the sense of like what the shimmer is, because like, spoiler alert, I guess, if you couldn't figure this out from the trailer and the synopsis, it's fucking aliens. But like, the whole journey of finding that out and like finding out what's exactly the shimmer is, what Area X is, what is happening inside of that, and like what it represents, it's kind of frustrating because it's not straightforward. And with sci-fi horror stuff, it's never straightforward. Like, it does take a little bit of thinking, but the timeline is non-linear. You get flashbacks to a lot of stuff, and then there's just a whole lot of metaphors and allegories, and a lot. It's very confusing at some points, and it's kind of frustrating because sometimes with movies like these, you don't go in expecting it to give you the answers right away, but like you go in at least expecting to understand what's going on to a degree, and you don't get that. It takes a lot of after thinking and like a lot of looking up stuff online, maybe even reading the book series, because this is based off a book series, which I'm currently listening to on Audible. I'm like 20 minutes in. I have no idea what's happening, but it takes a lot of thinking and like reading Wikipedia, sometimes spoiling some stuff for yourself and like going back and watching it and being like, oh, okay, that's what happened. And it's frustrating sometimes. I don't mind it because I'm just like a person who likes theory and who likes to theorize and sci-fi and horror stuff. So like, I don't mind it, but like if you're not a person who likes that type of stuff, then like it can be frustrating and it can like kill this movie for you. And I would understand that if you came out of this movie like not liking it. And this is just kind of a nitpick because I'm a fan of this actor, but Oscar Isaac didn't have as big as a role as I thought he would have, which is like, not gonna lie, he was part of the reason I wanted to go see this. And Tessa Thompson. And so like, just to kind of see him like kind of pushed to the side, not like in a bad way, it is like necessary for the plot, and it's not like, oh yeah, he's here, now he's gone. It's like, oh yeah, he's here, he has a plot. He serves as like someone who's important to the plot, but like we don't need him here right now. And it's just kind of frustrating when you like go to see a movie for a certain actor, and then it's like, oh, they're not in this as much as I thought they were going to be. It's like when you went to see Spider-Man Homecoming wanting to see a lot of Zendaya, and you got like 8 minutes of Zendaya, but you know, it's fine. Still a good movie. And now for the rave. What did I like about this movie? I actually liked a lot of it. Considering the fact that I was confused as hell for most of it. I actually did get a headache like halfway through this movie, but I think it's just because the pollen here has gotten insane. But I liked this movie a lot. I personally couldn't recommend it to anybody that I know because because despite the fact that I like sci-fi and horror, I'm not friends with people who like a lot of that stuff, so like I couldn't recommend it to them. But if you like body horror stuff, there's a lot of that in here, and oh my god, it's good. It's disgusting, but it's good. I don't want to say it's in vain with it, because it was more just like, ooh, he's got a lot of teeth, and look, he's bending his body certain different ways. But with this, it's more of like, here's a situation that results in the body horror, and not just here's a character whose whole scary thing is body horror. And it's just really disgusting to watch, and I'm saying that as a compliment because it is marketed as sci-fi horror. You do kind of get a bit of sci-fi horror, but in the end, it is more of like a sci-fi thriller, mystery, psychological thing. It's less of an It movie and more of like an Ex Machina Get Out type movie where it focuses more on the philosophy of it than like the disgustingness of it. And the visuals in this are stunning. Like the shimmer is like in the trailer, it just looks like a giant like rainbow sort of wall, and the lighting, that the way that they do the lighting while they're inside the shimmer, or Area X as they call it, it looks like you're looking through it looks like sunlight's coming through a soap bubble. You know how like when you're watching and you get soap bubbles and like light comes through and it's all rainbowy and stuff? It's like that, and they keep that on throughout the movie instead of just being like, oh yeah, it's sunlight. It makes you feel like you're actually encompassed inside the shimmer and Area X with the expedition of the scientists, and it really helps engulf you into that experience. All the settings are beautiful. I don't know where they filmed this, but oh my god, I want to go to wherever they filmed this because it's just so gorgeous. And the last thing I want to talk about before I wrap this up is the philosophy of this movie. Not going too deep into spoilers, but it goes into a lot of like personal dilemmas and personal traumas. Not really traumas, but like personal issues. And it talks a bit about self-destruction. And I'm not going to say much else than that, because if I kept talking, it would give too much away. But certain characters focus heavily on that. Well, all the characters focus heavily on that, and you'll see how they do it in certain scenes and with certain pieces of dialogue and certain reveals. And it's like, oh, that's why they were so gung-ho on doing that, or that's why they did X, Y, and Z in that scene. And it makes for nice reveals at the end of this movie when you find out the philosophy of it, and you get to the end. And the title is Annihilation, so like it's kind of in the title that's what the philosophy of this movie is. But yeah, I just really enjoyed the lesson. I don't really want to say lessons because it didn't teach you. It taught you some stuff, but the moral of the story is mainly the moral of the story is think before you act, and shit, I don't know, don't go into swamps. But that's all I really have to say. Like I said, I was trying to keep this one short. I got a lot of stuff to do today. I would give this maybe a 3.5 out of 5 because I definitely understand why some people hate this movie. I understand why some people like this movie. There's no real middle ground on it. You either like it or you don't. And like if you're in the middle, it's just kind of like you probably need to go watch it again and just find out which end of the scale you're on. But I liked it. I couldn't recommend it to like anybody that I know personally because, like I said, I don't know a whole lot of people who are into sci-fi or horror and like thinking man sci-fi stuff. So if you're into that, go ahead. If you're not, I'd say skip it. If you not really spoiler, but like trigger warning. Like I said, there's a lot of body horror in this one scene in particular that is just disgusting. Like my mom asked me before I went to go see this if she would like it. And I just told her I didn't know. And then when I came out, I literally said, there's one scene in this movie where you would literally walk out and ask for a refund. So, like, if you want to know what that is, hit me up in the comments. I'll tell you what scene it is. So if you're going to see this, you can, like, avoid it. But, yeah, that was my review for Annihilation. It's out in theaters right now in the United States and the rest of the North and the rest of the continental. It's out in the United States, in North America. Jesus Christ, why that takes so much for me to say. Outside the U.S., it's going to be, outside North America, it's going to be on Netflix in like 6-7 days. No, more like 3 days. It's coming out on the 12th and outside North America. So if you're watching it outside the States, don't watch this on your computer or your phone. Holy shit. Find your friend with like the biggest television or get a projector or something, because this is a big TV, big screen experience, surround sound. You need that to really get the full experience. Even if you walk away not liking the story, it is definitely something you should see on a big screen because the effects and the sounds and just the way that they do Area X is breathtaking, and watching that like on a laptop or a tablet or a phone just isn't going to do that. So that's my review for Annihilation. If you've seen this movie, what do you like? Tell me in the comments. Did you like it? Did you hate it? And next week, I'll be doing my most anticipated movies for summer 2018 because we're finally out of award season. Thank the fucking Lord. See you next week.